iPhone 12 mini. Best iPhone 2022, a cheaper small-screen iPhone. As if 2020 wasn't weird enough, Apple has launched a mini version of its flagship when the likes of Sony and Samsung stopped doing that years ago. While most phones these days have displays close to a 7 inches tablet, the iPhone 12 mini coming in at 5.4 inches makes it one of the most interesting handsets of the year. Along with a lack of small phone competition, the iPhone 12 mini is the cheapest option in Apple's 2020 lineup. It looks great, has the highest pixel density of any iPhone in history, offers the same cameras as the main flagship and still gets MagSafe, with one small caveat. Oh, and look at this stunning blue color. It's the best small phone you can buy. Design and build. The design section of an iPhone review is normally pretty boring. You don't really need me to tell you what a new model is like on the whole, since iPhones typically look the same, with a recent-ish caveat being the overhauled iPhone X. While the iPhone 12 range is sort of more of the same, it's also not, and the iPhone 12 mini is the standout device in this area. Apple has done small phones before, starting with 3.5 inches on the first edition, but I mean recent models like the SE, but the firm has never labeled a phone mini, a stamp reserved for the tiny iPad mini until now. MagSafe. As well as new colors, including this absolutely stunning dark blue model I've tested, Apple has also resurrected something else, MagSafe. This used to be used for MacBook chargers, so the cable attached to the laptop magnetically rather than pushing a male connector into a female port. Screen. Historically, mini versions of bigger phones have been given many downgrades compared to their bigger brothers. That's not the Apple way of doing things, so the iPhone mini 12 still has a Super Retina XDR display using OLED technology. The resolution of 2340 by 1080 across the 5.4 inches size means this phone has the highest pixel density seen on an iPhone ever, a whopping 476 ppi, so there's nothing but crispness here. It's got all the bells and whistles: True Tone, HDR, wide P3 color, haptic touch, and more. Specs and performance. I don't want to bore you with too many specs here, as this isn't a particularly interesting area of the phone. However, it's worth noting that, like the display, the core components are not downgraded compared to the iPhone 12. It doesn't even have less RAM, 4 GB, which jumps to 6 GB on the Pro models, so the headline is the Apple A14 Bionic chip and a choice of 64, 128 and 256 GB of storage. As usual, choose wisely, with no microSD card slot on board. Cameras. Apple really hasn't skimped on the mini, as the phone still has all the same cameras as the regular 12. In short, that means dual 12MP cameras, a regular and an ultra-wide. It's the Pro models that have telephoto lenses. Largely it's the same as the iPhone 11 nit. It's quite normal to see smaller improvements in this department these days. Still, there are lots of nice specs here, including optical image stabilization, OIS, up to f/1.6 aperture, a new 7-element lens, smart HDR3 and deep fusion. Battery life. The iPhone 12 mini is small, so that limits the size of battery Apple can fit inside. So, it's no surprise that the firm quotes the shortest battery life of the 12 range at 15 hours video playback, or 10 if you're streaming said video. As my colleague David said in his Macworld review, our subjective experiences of the mini's staying power were okay. Not amazing, not horrible, just okay, and that's something I can totally agree with. Getting through a day of reasonable usage is about what you have to expect here. A result of 5 hours and 42 minutes in the Geekbench 4 battery test is not very impressive. It's well worth noting that Apple no longer supplies iPhone with a charger, so you only get a cable now. This is for a good environmental cause, but the frankly stupid thing here is that the cable is USB-C, so all those old iPhone chargers, or others, you have lying around are incompatible. Software. You probably don't need me to talk about iOS much here, but version 14 does bring some major change worth briefly talking about. Apart from being smooth and easy to use, Apple has added something that I've always wanted on an iPhone: widgets. As someone who uses two phones, one Android and one iPhone, it's widgets that have been a major reason why I've typically preferred Android. Price. As you might expect, the iPhone 12 mini is the cheapest of the 2020 range, starting at £699/$729. Things then jump £50/$50 for 128 gigabytes and another £100/$100 for 256 gigabytes. You can order it direct from Apple as well as the likes of Amazon, Carphone Warehouse, K's PC World, John Lewis, Argos and Very.